Up next, it's Judgment Day for the Okanagan Youth Pipe Band, where 3 young Penticton pipers get to play and receive valuable feedback from world champion piper James Beaumont.
What did you think about when you competed? How did you feel?
Like, I felt intimidated.
You did? What intimidated you?
The judge sitting in the chair waiting for me.
Waiting for you to come up, or? Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the things when we're teaching kids, or when we're teaching even adults. Adults tend to get a little bit more scared than guys your age. One of the things is don't think of it as a competition. It's not really a competition. It's you going and playing and enjoying yourself and seeing how well you can play, because you can't affect how the other people in the competition play. So if you just go and play your best and not worry about anybody else, that's all that matters. If you can go there and say, I tried my hardest, I did all the things that Kim has told me to do, that's it. And the more you compete, the better you will get at competing, and you will progress and get a little bit better, and don't worry about the results. The result at the end of the day doesn't actually mean anything. It just means that you were slightly better than one player on the day. But it doesn't mean that you're a better player or they're a better player. We have professional players in the world who compete against each other every week, and there's a different result every week. It just depends on the day. Now, don't be intimidated with the person sitting on the seat. They're just human, just like you. We, as a judge, we always want the people coming up to us to play to do as well as they can do. We're not sitting there waiting for a mistake. We're not sitting there, oh, you missed a grace note, and writing that down. That's not how it works. We want you to do as well as you can possibly do. One of the things to think about when you're competing is when you enter the performance, you enter this arena, so to speak, you're in first place. At that stage, you are in first place. After that, when you play, and if everything goes as well as you think it can go, you will remain in first place. So don't think, a lot of people go to the platform and think, oh, I'm at the bottom, I have to play really well to get to the top. No, it's the other way around. You start at the top, play well, and you'll stay at the top. Competing it's an amazing thing I've been lucky to travel all around the world to compete and have people pay for me to go do it. I didn't have to pay for it myself, which is amazing. You get to see some amazing places in the world. And most importantly is you'll meet some amazing people. You'll meet lots of new friends, lots of friendly faces that will remain I was your age competing, and the guys that I competed against are still my best friends today. And they live all around the world. So what I'm trying to say is enjoy it, it's worth it, and it doesn't matter what the result is. It really doesn't. What are you gonna play? Come closer. Don't be afraid. Come closer. What are you going to play?
Jim McPhail.
Sorry?
Jim McPhail.
Okay, take your time. Good, Eli. Okay, come here. Okay, overall it's very good. You're playing at a really nice tempo for this level. You know, it's nice and expressive, lots of music in there. Your technique overall is pretty good. Couple of little things I want you to watch. Turluiths. So make sure when you're playing a turluith, there's 2 low G's in the turluith. Okay, to make sure that you hear both. If you look at a turluith in the music, it's low G, D grace note, low G, E grace note. Okay, so you want to make sure you get those 2 low G's in there, and they should be exactly the same length. Okay, sometimes they were just a little bit tight and you're just kind of rushing through it, or I wasn't hearing all the grace notes in there. But overall, I thought it was very nice. At the end of the parts, I'd like you to have a look at the music. I think you may be playing a G grace note when there should be an E grace note. I don't know if Kim's ever said that to you before. A lot of times when we go, you're playing like a G grace note instead of an E grace note. So just be aware from that. Fourth part, obviously you had a little brain fart in there. But a couple of pieces of advice I'd give for you when you're actually competing is, if you can march. It makes a big difference with the playing. When you're standing still, it's called a march for a reason. You know, you want to be able to march. When you approach the judge, don't be afraid of me. Like, again, say the name of your tune, be nice and clear with it. Take your time before you play the tune. You have all the time in the world. The stage is yours. I have to sit here and wait for you. So I'm not going to tell you to hurry up. If you're going to take 10 minutes, then I'm going to tell you to hurry up. But you put up your pipes and you just went straight away. Take your time. Play first part of a slow air. You know, you have that much time. Make sure that your pipes are settled, but more importantly, make sure that you're settled. Make sure that you're ready and that you're not just rushing and getting on with it. If you think about it, play the first couple of bars in your head, like while you're playing low A, just, sing it in your head so that you're ready to go when you're ready, okay? If you do that, it'll just settle you down a little bit, make you a little bit more confident. You have all the time in the world. The judge can't start before you. So, does that make sense? It's good playing though, man. Awesome. Okay, Jesse, what are you going to play, man?
I'm going to play Donald McLean's Farewell to...
Open? Okay, take your time, man.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Jesse, well played. Come on. Okay, overall very good, okay? Very nice, good fingering and stuff. One of the things that was unfortunate was your bass drone stopped as soon as you played. Now, once you start the tune, there's nothing you can do about that. So you did the right thing. Keep playing no matter what. Make the judge listen to you.
Right.
You never know what the other competitors are. Maybe all the rest of the competitors' bass drones stopped.
Right.
So I've seen too many people in my time stop. When I was a judge, they stopped when they were probably going to get a prize because they think that something was going to go wrong. So if something ever happens like that into a competition, just keep going.
Okay.
Make the judge listen to you. I thought your tempo was nice and controlled. Thought it was good for your level of play. Crossing noises. Crossing noises are something that you got to, I'd spend the most of your work. So if you're going from C to E, you should be practicing, you should be driving your family nuts. Just playing, and you should be able to play them at any tempo and never have a crossing noise, or C high A. But just practice that, just practice it over and over. The way to get better is to find your weak. Playing a tune from start to finish doesn't make you better.
Right.
Find the bits that you need to work on and just work on those. If you spend an hour just playing CE, that's you practicing.
Right.
That is you trying to get better at that. So don't be afraid to do that. So that long high A. The hardest thing to do in piping is actually hold notes. People think it's to play all the fast stuff. That's the easy part. Right. It's to hold notes. You were jumping off that high A, which means you're jumping your phrasing and jumping, and you're ahead of the beat from that. But make sure you hold on the high A. Don't be afraid to hold that high A really long. Okay. Third part, at the end of the parts, it's an E grace note. You're playing a G grace note. Okay. Make sure you play the E grace note. Fourth part, tackums. You always hold the note before a tackum, so the E. Make sure you hold on to that E. A lot of people jump on the tackums. The last piece of advice is exactly the same as what I said to Eli. March.
Right.
It's a march. Make sure you march to it. It's in the title. You know,
Yeah.
march. And when you come to the platform as well, is you have lots of time. Don't rush. I can't start before you.
Okay, so I just started on the trick.
You come over here first. You're gonna tell me what you're gonna play, man.
Okay, so I'm playing James Cameron.
Okay, take your time. You can. Are you gonna march? Are you gonna stand still or?
Stand still.
Okay, yeah, just go back a little bit back from there. Good. Very nice, Seamus. How did you feel it went?
Pretty good. There are a couple things I think I could have done better.
Like what?
Like in the third part, I messed up going to the second line. I kept forgetting to remember how to go into it. I know how to go into it, but I just, for some reason, couldn't get it down with my fingers.
It's fine. And one of the things is when you compete, all of a sudden everything just disappears from your head. You know, that's why we practice, so that things become autopilot. So when you get out there, if you do lose your mind, it doesn't. Your fingers just move somehow. I thought it was very nice. I thought you started off very, very well. It's a nice controlled tempo for your level of playing. Your fingering at the start was very clean. It was very, very good, which I was really, really happy with. Turlewis, or you were playing grips at the end of the parts. I don't know if those are grips or Turlewis. Yeah. And the music, I would bet they were Turlewis. They might be grips, I could be wrong. It's not a tune that I play. So making sure that if it's a Turlewis, you get that E grace note in there, okay? Time you got to the third part, yeah, you had a couple of little slips in the third part, fourth part, a couple of little crossing noises creeping in there, but just try and keep the fingering nice and clean like it was in the first part. One of the other things which I've said to your other two buddies there as well is march. You know, make sure you march. It will improve your playing dramatically, musically. But yeah, I thought it was very good. It was very good. So when you go to a competition, okay, what to do, what to expect. So when you go to the venue, so let's say it's Penticton Highland Games, the first thing you do is you go and check in there. You go and check in, you get your number, you put your number on your kilt, then you go and find out when you're supposed to be playing and where you're supposed to be playing. So you go over to that stage, that platform, and say, okay, you figure out what time. Now, the most important part about competing is not actually the competing part. Most competitions are won and lost on the setup, the preparation before it. Now, at a venue like this, have a look around and see, okay, we're playing close to a tree, you know, we're playing on grass. The last thing you should be doing is standing on the sand at the lake. You know, that doesn't match what's going on here. Find a tree on grass where it's in the same sunshine that's very similar to this, because the last thing you want to do is go from tarmac or a road or the sand to here and it's going to sound completely different. You put your bagpipes up and like, whoa, what happened there? One of the worst things you can do is play on a path and then play on grass. The sound just disappears because on the path, the sound bounces back at you. I've done it so many times, and you get on there and you think there's something wrong with your chanter. It's not that loud anymore. What's wrong with you? You're looking at it, and so prepare yourself. Now, the next bit is making sure you have a good bagpipe. You guys are lucky that you've got Kim to prepare yourself. But one of the things that I encourage you all to do is learn how to set up your own bagpipe. Learning how to tune your bagpipe is massive. I was always told you can be the best player in the world, but if you play on a bad sounding bagpipe, nobody will want to listen to you. But if you're a terrible player, and you have an amazing sounding bagpipe, people will listen to you all day. As a judge, when you're sitting here, as soon as you put up your bagpipe, if it sounds good, we're impressed. You haven't even played a note. It's like, whoa, this person knows what they're doing and they're listening. Okay? So, but if you put up a bagpipe, it doesn't matter. The judge switches off because it's so bad. So you want to make sure you have a nicely tuned bagpipe. That's something that you should spend a lot of time at home practicing with. You know, we spoke about how, you know, drive your family crazy. You know, if you have siblings, you know, you want to make them upset at you with different things that you're doing. Practice crossing noises for half an hour. Just play C, E, C, E. I had a sister, I have a brother that both plays. I have a sister who doesn't play. We used to drive her nuts because we just practice crossing noises and stuff all the time. Or we practice tuning on each other's bagpipes. And we drove them nuts, but we were getting better. Now, so when you actually come up to play, one of the things that I spoke to you pretty much all about this is take your time. You don't have to start right away. A judge cannot judge until you start to play. Play a part of a slow air. Play something. Just get yourself settled. Don't just get your pipes up and then start playing. Okay? One of the other things you do is don't put your pipes up, play a few things, and then put them down again. Then start. There's no reason. Once you put them up, keep them up. Because if you put them down again, they're going to go out of tune. So keep them up, don't put them down. give yourself a few seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. We have limits in the professional level where we have 5 minutes. They tell us not to go more than 5 minutes because we want to take as long as we can to make sure we're as settled as we can be. So take as long as you can to make yourself comfortable. Then when you're ready, compete. When we start to play. Now, with a judge's job is to critique you. We're writing down comments. Don't be afraid if you see the judge writing something down. Okay? A lot of people, when they see the judge writing something down, they think, I've made a mistake. I've done something wrong. Think of it the other way. I was always taught if the judge is still writing, it means they're still interested. If your judge is sitting down and he's looking over there, it means he's not interested anymore. Okay? If he or she is writing, it means they're still interested in your playing. So don't be worried if a judge is writing. And one of the things I said to you as well there was, if something goes wrong, keep going. Keep going. If a drone goes off, you make a mistake, doesn't matter. Keep going. I've said before, I've had people play in front of me as a judge where they made a mistake and stopped and walked away, and they probably would have got a prize because everybody else in the class made a mistake. So make sure you keep going all the time. It's very, very important. It's good. You've got good playing, good fingering. And one of the things I'll emphasize again is there's a difference between practicing and performing. When you're at home, don't perform. And what I mean by that is don't get your pipes up and just play through your 2/4 march. That's not practicing. Figure out, okay, if I'm weak at Turlouths, I'm going to practice Turlouths. I'm going to find a bit of the tune where I just play Turlouths over and over again. That's practicing. Playing the tune from start to finish is not practicing. So there's a big difference between practicing and performing. That makes sense? You guys did great. You're on the right direction. You're getting great tuition from Kim. You're very lucky. Not everybody gets tuition like that. So good job. It was great.